Hello everybody, welcome back to the farm. My name is Dave and today I'm determined to fix the problem I have with my slow internet. Now if I look up at my roof there, you can see there's a really small little dish, and that is the wireless NBN. Now you may ask, why do I have the NBN wireless? Why don't I just have a conventional type of fibre connection like everybody else? And the reason is the distance. So I'm about 2 kilometres out of my nearest town. So the only way I can get any sort of internet connection is via either the NBN wireless or by satellites. I used to have 12 acres of vacant pasture land next to my property, and that was bought by some developers that turned it into a housing estate. Now as part of that development, what they had to do was to make sure that every house that was built had connection to a very fast optic fibre for the internet, but unfortunately I don't have that. Now up here on the main road in front of where my house is, there may well be internet fibre already laid in the ground here, I'm not too sure. So that would be maybe a node here somewhere that I could tap into. But to get to my place that's 150 metres away, I would have to run a copper wire. And that would mean that for every metre that I run back to the house, I'm going to lose speed. And to connect to the node, what I would have to do is dig a trench beside the road down here, all the way down 150 odd metres back to the house. And there would be a cost in doing that. And as I mentioned, every metre that I ran it, my internet speed would get slower and slower. So really, that's not an option. So the problem I have with my wireless internet there is it's very slow and very inconsistent. Some days it works quite well and some days it doesn't. Now being a wireless system, the speed that you get on the internet really is dependent on the number of people or users that are on the system at the same time. Now this little dish that's on the roof here, it picks up the signal from a tower that's up here behind where the camera is. And it's about 3 kilometres away. And lately I've had lots of problems with it. 2 weeks ago, I think it was sort of working for 5 minutes and then off for 5 minutes, and it was very hard to watch any sort of programming. And the biggest problem I have as a YouTuber, if you like, as a content creator, is that I need a system where I can actually have reasonably fast speed in the upload. And that's an area where the NBN wireless really does fall down. I'm just going to use a free online program on my computer to check the speed of my current internet, which is using the NBN wireless. So let's run the test and see what the results are. It just takes a small packet of data, and first we're going to do the download speed to see what it is. I'm supposed to get 100 megabits per second download, and I've got 83.8, which is still sort of okay. That's not a bad speed. Upload, I should be getting 25, and I'm getting 5.94. That's pretty slow. So by looking at those numbers, you can see that the download speed is actually not too bad at times. I would think average coming into my wireless dish here, I'm lucky to get maybe 80 megabits a second. Sometimes I may get up to 100, but very rarely. But the big problem is the upload speed, and if I try and upload a video, then usually my upload speed is like 2, 3 or 4 megabits a second. And so because of the problems I've had with the wireless NBN, I've had interruptions and breakdowns that hasn't been reliable, and also the slow upload speed, I've made the decision to replace the wireless NBN and put in a Starlink system. Now Starlink uses satellite-based systems, so it's a different sort of technology. And I did look at it once before, but it has always been really expensive when you start to think about the Starlink plans and so forth. But just recently here in Australia, I've noticed on their website that they have some quite reasonable plans. And I'm looking at a plan that is $69 a month, and I get an indication of speed is I get 100 megabits download speed and up to 30 to 35 uploads. So it's more of the upload speed that I'm concerned about. Download's not so important, but it's just if I can reduce the time that it takes to upload the videos, and that's a really important thing to me. And currently on the plan I have what the wireless NBN at the minute. I'm with a company called UHI Broadband, which sort of guarantee you get 100 megabit download and 25 upload, but you don't get anywhere near that, because on their advertising they all say that it's dependent on system capability and hardware something or other, so they have a disclaimer in there, and it never gets anywhere close to what they say. And I'm just hoping that if I put the Starlink system in, that it's going to be a bit more reliable, cheaper, because the Starlink at $69 is actually $30 a month cheaper than what I'm paying with UHI Broadband. And thirdly, it's got a faster upload speed, so that's certainly going to be beneficial for allowing me to get videos up a lot quicker. I think this is the second generation of NBN dish, because the first one was that diamond.
You said that they came in, replaced it once.
Yeah, the original one was like a diamond shaped one,
yeah.
And then they replaced it with this one.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure now that they've said that there's a type 3 out.
Yeah.
That they've brought out, which is supposed to work a little bit better. But
yeah.
So what they've done when they put it in, they've just put a cable, drilled a hole straight through the middle of my tin roof, put a bit of silicon on there, which is probably about trade quality, I would imagine. But just got because this connector, I'm pretty sure on the back of here. Is that just a normal cat connector?
That's Ethernet ends up at.
Ethernet, yeah. So it'd be great if the end on the Starlink thing was the same. We could use the same cable, maybe.
It might be proprietary. I think it has to run both power and data, but we'll take a look when we open it.
Yeah. If not, we'll have to pull this black cable out and
maybe run a new cord.
Try and tie it to the end of the Starlink cable and pull it through. We're going to reuse the pole here. Right, I've just moved that down a little bit, and we'll just try and put the Starlink one on the top here. We might even leave this one here for the minute before we take it off completely.
There it is.
It's a bigger dish than I thought it was, isn't it?
Quite large.
Yeah.
So that's a little kickstand that comes with.
Oh, right, okay.
And then if need be, I think for some general installations, you can basically just put it in with 2 screws to keep it in place.
Okay,
Just for like a standard sort of install sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Nice big instructions. Pretty good.
What does that say? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Plug it in, plug it into power, whatnot. Use the app to configure it and make sure it's all good to go.
Okay.
And try and avoid trees. And that's all the power and all the other good stuff. Which is good. So that's probably going to be what we need to run. Looks like it's pretty good.
It's 15 metres apparently.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it is some sort of Ethernet cable. Have to do a quick Google and see if it is proprietary, or maybe we can just make do with what we've got.
I think probably the problem is the waterproof seal isn't on the other cable.
Oh yeah, but it's still, Anyway, we'll take a look and see what we can come up with, eh? That's pretty good.
What else is there?
This is the main. Well, this is what you'd call as the main. I think. This is the power supply.
And
this is the main. Well, they call it a router, which you can also do pass-through mode and stuff on, which is pretty good. So, power, and then receive from the satellite, and then you can do other things as well if you want to connect to your own network and whatnot as well. If you have other devices.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it has like a built-in Wi-Fi, and yeah, we'll pretty much go from there.
Now, I've already downloaded the Starlink app onto my phone, and the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to scan this QR code and see what the instructions are. So I'll just put my phone on there and it'll pick up that QR code. It'll then give me a link, which I'm thinking will take me probably back to the app or open the app. Yep, so this is the Starlink app on my phone. I've got a standard configuration here and I just press confirm there. Then it gives me this window here, and what I notice here is it's asking for the dish to be actually facing towards the southern direction. I thought it would face north, but it actually says here to face the south. So that's okay. What's the next step? And I'm going to use a pivot mount.
What have we got?
You'll notice on the longer end of this kickstand on the back,
there's a little tab. And so all you have to simply do is put a couple fingers under that tab and lift on it. And then at the same time, you're going to move the kickstand out to the side. So you lift and then slide like that and pop. It comes right out.
Hey.
Notice on the bottom
Hey.
there are a couple of cleats.
Thank you, YouTube.
On this
Thank you.
kickstand that go in.
Thank you, hitchedforfun.com.
Yeah.
Shout out. So what we'll hopefully be doing now is using some PETG printed pieces, which we can include a link. Maybe in
Yeah,
the
so the
description.
reason for this is that I'm too cheap to buy the official, what do they call it, pole mount from Starlink. I think it was like $150 or something
Yeah.
to buy the thing. So we found, what's the site where the 3D
This is on
files are?
printables,
Printables.
and we'll include a link maybe to the actual
Yeah.
author of the original file.
Yeah.
This is printed in PETG with a pretty good wall and infill, so it's pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
Good hope for holding stuff
This is
on.
a slightly stronger filament, isn't it?
Yeah, so people usually use PLA, but if you're going to be out in the sun and you're going to be holding stuff, like PETG holds itself pretty
Yeah.
firm over time.
Yeah.
So the intention is to use the existing pole mount we have for the
Yeah.
NBN connection.
Yeah.
And we should be able to, because it uses a 28mm essentially filler, this is 38mm, but this brings it down to about 28.
Yeah.
It should be able to sit pretty much perfectly on top here somewhere,
Yeah.
just like this. And then we'll try and get the Starlink in a good spot and give it a go.
And, yeah, we'll go back to the app and then just do the final alignment. It said it was out a little bit, so
Yep.
now we just got to see. This may not fit in.
Yeah, might have to sand it down.
I have to sand it down.
But the intention is that it'll, maybe it'll even just
goes
go
in,
in.
alright.
There you go. So it'll pretty much come in here,
Yeah.
just like this. We'll put in some of the locking things here. We can get it in nicely.
Yeah.
And then we'll put in some nuts on this side and then secure it all and should be good to go.
Right, so that's all in there, Benny, is it?
Yeah, it'll be good for a bit of a test run using the pre-existing cable that we already had on the pole or going up to the pole.
Yeah, well, it'll make a lot of easier work. We don't have to run a new cable through the roof and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, like long term, we may need to consider that, but for now, at least just to get her up and running, do some speed tests, I think that'll do. And
All right, stick her on the pole. And
hopefully
now
it'll
it's sort of fixed. The angle is sort of fixed at, what did you say, 20
I
degrees
think
or something?
the file said it was 20 degrees, but I think that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the main thing they want is that if it's going straight, like looking up at the satellites, it's not
Yeah.
in any problem with trees or anything like that.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good to me.
Okay.
So right now, it should hopefully be receiving power, so we can go back into the app and take a look and see if it's picked up the signal again, and it'll tell us if it needs to be aligned, and then we'll get a hose clamp which runs through here based
Yeah.
on the file.
Yep.
And that really makes sure it's nice and tight, but even then, like, structure feels pretty good on it. You know, it's not, feels pretty good. We'll give it a go.
Okay, well, that's good. We've connected up our cable to the dish, and now Ben is going to head back inside and connect up the other end to the router, and we'll see if it connects. So I'm going to go back to the app now. So what's it saying now? It says plug in Starlink and the router. So we'll just see if there's a connection there. It is. We've got to now go into the Starlink on the Wi-Fi and just connect it through there. So in the minute it'll come up here. I'll just scroll down here till I can see Starlink is actually available. Click on that and go to the settings there. That's fine. It's now connecting, and let's see whether it connects up. Give it a couple of seconds, and yep, so now we're connected. It says that the Starlink is paired successfully. You can now give your network a name and give it a unique password if you want to. It now starts to calculate the orientation. So we've put it on the pole, but we're not actually sure whether we're facing the right direction. So let's see what it says here. Okay, so our Starlink is misaligned by 48 degrees. So if I hit that tab, Align Starlink, it'll run through the next step on how to do that. The other thing that the app does is it asks you to open your phone and to use the camera on your phone and point it up to the sky and just pan it around and tilt it up and down and try and capture all of these little white dots here that are on the screen. It looks a bit weird, but what it's trying to do now is to see whether there's any obstruction that's going to be in the way of the position of where you've actually put your dish. Now, if you get it all okay, you'll get this comes up that says, great, it's clear sky and Starlink is now aligned. So we've got it now in the right place. And you can see there that it's actually pointing a little bit south, which is Not what I originally thought, but it actually says we're ready to go.
Alrighty, well we've gone through the alignment process and the dish is actually facing back that way, which is sort of due east, I'm thinking. I don't know why, but we used the alignment tool on the app and it turned it around that way. I would have thought it would have been pointing out to the north, but I have no idea really. So anyway.
Okay, now the new system is installed. Let's see if we get any better speed in the download and the upload. I'm hoping we do. I'm using a slightly different program this time. Ben suggested this was a slightly more accurate program to use. So let's run the test and see what it is. What I'm on with Starlink is a 100 megabits per second download. So let's see what the result is. So it's 100, that's pretty good. Now the upload speed on my current program, it says it should be between 15 and 35, something like that. So let's see what the upload speed is. 35, 35, 35. So I've got 100 megabits per second download and 35 megabits per second upload. That upload is like 7 times faster than I had before. It is now a couple of days after Ben and myself installed that Starlink system, and it's been going very well. There haven't been any problems at all. And in those last couple of days, I've been re-uploading some of my older videos just to see how much faster the Starlink system is. Now, for an example, the old phone box video that I uploaded last week, I think it was, when I uploaded that using the NBN Wireless, it took me 2 hours and 42 minutes to upload that particular video. I re-uploaded that using the Starlink system and it uploaded that whole file in 33 minutes. And finally, let's just check some of the stats of the two systems side by side, and I think you'll agree with me that Starlink really does come out a winner. So first of all, the download speed. You can see that the Starlink system is faster than what I was getting with the NBN Wireless. More important to me is the upload speed, and you can see here that the Starlink upload speed is about 5 to 6 times quicker than the NBN Wireless. I also, using Starlink, I'm going to save about $25 a month. Now I do need to mention that the pricing that I've mentioned in this video is in Australian dollars, and the particular deal that I got may not be applicable in all areas, so please check your local website for pricing and conditions. Anyway, that is today's video. I do appreciate everybody watching the video and supporting the channel. Stay safe on the farm and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.